Okay. This is an interview with Joseph Long, Beltrone Living Center, Colonie, New York. It is the 6th of August, 2003, 3 p.m. The interviewers are Mike Russert and Wayne Clark. Could you give us your full name, date of birth, and place of birth, please?
Joseph Long, August 8th, 1925, Sidney Center, New York. Place of birth?
What was your educational background prior to military service?
I finished high school.
Okay. What were your years of service?
August 1943 to March 1946.
Okay. Were you enlisted or were you drafted?
Enlisted.
Why did you select the Navy?
Just sounded good to me.
Had you ever been on a large ship or
no,
anything?
I've never been on one before.
You know, Sydney's landlocked. I was wondering.
No.
Okay. When did you? Where did you go for your basic training?
Sampson,
Mm-hmm.
Naval Training Station.
And how old were you when you went in?
18.
18. Had this been your first time away from home?
Just about.
Okay. What kind of training did you receive at Sampson?
Well, of course, the boot camp was nothing more than acclimating you to the lingo of Navy, and also getting you inoculated, whatever. I went to, after that, after finishing the 7 weeks basic, I went to signalman school.
Whereabouts was that school?
Still at Sampson.
Sampson. Did you learn the old semaphore?
Yeah,
flags?
some of it, yes.
Okay.
Okay. How long was that training?
Well, I don't know for sure. I know I didn't go aboard ship until December of that year, same year, so it must have been.
Okay. What ship were you assigned?
The USS Santee CVE 29, escort carrier.
Okay. Did any others that were in training with you go to that ship, or were you pretty much alone?
Not that I know of.
Now, were you a first crew on that ship, or was the...
You mean the original?
Yes.
Oh no.
Okay, the Santee had been...
Yes, it had been on anti-sub duty in the Atlantic, and then when I went aboard, I wasn't aboard during the anti-sub duty, but that's they had changed. They had finished their assignment as anti-sub duty.
So you were in the Atlantic with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we made one trip to Scotland with troops and aircraft. And
What kind of aircraft did you take across?
Well, they were I know there was the two engine. What was it? P-38.
P-38, just with the forked tails. Yes.
And there was quite a few military personnel that went over to Scotland at that time.
So you basically acted like a troop carrier and carrying
during that
the
time.
planes.
How were the planes? Were they apart or were they together?
No, well, they were kind of mothballed. You know, when they got them over there, they finished putting them together and getting them getting ready to fly.
Okay. After you took the planes and the troops to Scotland, where did you go?
We then went to the Pacific.
Did you cross the equator in the Atlantic or the Pacific?
In the Pacific, yes.
What was the celebration like?
You got your hair cut funny, and if you felt like a need for it, well, you could run through the gauntlet, and they'd beat you over with little clubs, you know.
You didn't do that, I bet.
No, I didn't. I kind of ducked out of that one, I'm afraid.
Still carry your card?
No, I don't have it.
You don't?
No.
We have a lot of veterans that still carry them. Okay, where did the Santee go when it went into the Pacific?
Oh boy, I got the paper here.
That's okay if you wanted to read from it, that's fine.
If I can get it going. Well, April 22nd, 1944, the Santee participated in the D-Day landings at Atebe, Hollandia. September 16th, 1944, again the Santee was called upon to escort the invasion landings at Morotai. These invasions and landing were vital in the neutralization of many Japanese airfields that stood in the way of the invasion of the islands of the Philippines. Santee scoreboard for these operations was 22 Jap planes destroyed and 100 planes damaged.
So they supplied air support for landings near the Philippines, then they're in the Philippines, okay.
And then we did handle this. Well, there was three carrier groups of escort carriers that we participated with during the operation.
Were you involved in the actions around Leyte Gulf?
Yes.
Could you tell us about that, please?
Well,
Do you remember?
we took. I know it was quite a bit of flights from that time, and of course the Japanese were coming out of the islands to destroy us, but we were quite successful in repelling them. And of course, during this time, we were hit by a Japanese Kamikaze and also torpedoed. But we didn't get sunk, but we did pull out after that.
This was during the Leyte Gulf actions?
Yes.
Were you on deck when the Kamikaze
No,
hit?
I was actually back in what they call the pilot's ready room at that time, and I was the fellow that told the pilots to go up whichever one needed to go aboard ship, up to to take off.
Did you have any warning that there was a hit coming, or?
Not exactly, no.
What happened when it hit? Did you feel the shudder? Or?
Oh yes, it kind of reared us up pretty good. And of course the plane hit just forward of the after elevator. And I understand at the time that they had the magazines open. And if he'd have been a little bit farther aft, he'd have probably blown us right up good. But they didn't get any bombs into he didn't fall into the magazine, so important.
Now, who torpedoed you? Was it a plane or a destroyer or submarine?
It was a submarine.
Submarine? Where did you have to go for repairs?
This I can't remember. I know they put a patch on us, and then we went back to the States.
Were you able to go back into action after
Oh
that?
yes, oh yes.
Could you tell us about that, please?
We were in the Okinawa campaign after that in April 1945. And it was just constant warfare at that time for about 82 days. We were on 12-hour shifts. I worked at of course, I was a radarman. And
do you recall the typhoon?
well, we had some.
How about the Great Typhoon of near Okinawa?
I don't remember.
You know,
I know you knew you were in something when your chair started sliding around on the deck.
so you spent most of your time below deck? That's what
No,
your assignment area was?
We were above.
You were above?
Above deck, yes.
Okay.
I mean, above the main deck.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
right. Do you recall where you were in your reaction when you heard about the death of President Roosevelt?
No, I don't really.
Okay. How about the dropping of the atomic bombs? Do you know what your reaction was when you heard
No,
about that?
no.
You don't? Okay. That's okay. All right. After the Okinawa campaign, where did you go?
I believe we had a minesweeping. We were covering a minesweeping operation in the South China Sea. It was kind of a secret operation. And of course, that was cut short and we headed for Guam. And then, of course, at that time the war was over. And we got assigned to pick up American and British prisoners on what was then Formosa, of course it's Taiwan now,
Mm-hmm.
and ferry them back to the States.
Do you recall what kind of condition they were
Oh,
in?
terrible, terrible. Very thin. It was all kinds of ratings. Some of them were quite high officers.
Mhm. So when you returned to the States, were you discharged then, or
Well,
you
no,
stayed in until 46?
no, we went back at what they call magic carpet, and they filled the hangar deck with bunks. And we went back, and that way we were able to bring American troops home that way.
Okay, so you acted like a troop carrier in a way then.
Uh-huh.
Did they clear all the aircraft off the ship?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. I'd never heard of that.
The whole hangar deck was just bunks and bunks and bunks that they'd kind of welded on so that we could have a bed for a good many men.
Where did you go to get the troops, to pick them up?
I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's here.
So your entire
I
flight
don't know.
Okay. Your entire flight deck was filled with
The hangar deck.
hangar deck, I'm sorry.
That's
I
the
meant
right, the
hangar
deck was below.
Yes. So the whole hangar deck was filled with troops then on the way back. Okay. Did you do this more than once, or?
I know we did it once. I don't know,
Mhm.
we may have done it more than that.
Okay. After you did that, what did you do?
I probably wasn't discharged.
Okay. After you were discharged, did you make use of the GI Bill?
Yes.
In what way? Do you recall?
Of course, the what do you do? The 5220 club.
My next question, you use a 5220 club.
Huh?
Did you use that?
Oh yeah.
How much of it?
Oh, probably 3 months or so.
Okay. What did you use the GI Bill for itself? Did you use it for any education or to purchase a home, or?
No, I didn't.
You didn't, okay. Did you join any veterans organizations?
Well, except the organization of, they have an organization for aircraft escort carrier, and I'm in that.
Mm-hmm. You didn't join the Legion or anything else?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you stayed in contact with anyone you served with, or do you attend any of the meetings of this group?
No.
Okay. How do you think your time in service, do you think it affected or changed your life in any way?
Oh, yes.
How would you say it did?
Well, you have more respect for people, I think. Have more respect for authority. That's it.
Okay. Did you have any pictures or anything?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was just curious with your bag. Okay, well, thank
The only thing I've got is this little fella.
Oh, okay. Oh, what is that?
Read on the bottom of it.
Okay, this is when you were hit by the Kamikaze on October 25th, 1944. Piece of metal that was picked off the flight deck after the hit.
You need to go back farther.
Okay.
Okay,
And that's a picture of the ship, by the way.
got it.
Okay, oh, that's very interesting. All right, well, thank you very much for your interview.
In December
Mhm.
1943, of course, this is a part of the ship's log.
Could we make a copy of
Quite
this?
certainly.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, thank you very much for your interview.